It's like corporate employees, plant employees. They have different work schedules like morning shift, and evening shift, night shift, general shift, rotation shift. Okay? And different employees will get different salary components like basic salary, like other components like benefits, different. This is called process study. Process study in the sense how HR is going to run into the company. The senior HR consultant from outsourcing company or implementation company like IBM, they will go to the Office Software Solutions. There they have to study each and everything and has to process and what scope of business process is going to be implemented into the company.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now once we go for the process study, it will take 5 to 10 days. There you have to stay there and you have to interact and approach the HR people, and they will give you the business scenarios and they will give you a documentation. You have to read the documentation and you can ask so many questions to them so that you can understand how HR department is going to work. Say for example, how hiring process in your company, they will explain this is the hiring process. So if an employee is terminated in my company, they will give you an advertisement. After giving an advertisement, and they will get the applications or the resumes. So first we have to shortlist the resumes. After shortlisting the resumes, we will conduct certain interviews or written tests. After written tests, we will conduct oral test. After oral test, we will call the candidates for the negotiations. After the negotiations, we will give an appointment to them. This is the business process. How to run payroll on an employee? Say for example, an employee is getting salary for weekly or monthly, if you assume that. If an employee getting salary on monthly, how does he get salary? He will get salary monthly. And what is the payment day? Last working day. If January 31st, he is going to get the salary. If it is February, he is going to get the salary either 28th or 29th. If it is March, he is getting salary on 31st. If it is April, he is getting salary on 30th. So, after knowing the process study, how much of scope SAP is going to fulfill their requirements? Here, based on the scope study, there will be MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding between the two parties. Here in the scope study, what we are going to tell to them, say for example, the requirement of the company is, assume that 100% requirements they need. Of 100%, no application, no ERP can fulfill 100% requirement of the company. If anybody says that, okay, we will fulfill 100% requirements, to be frank, we are going to cheat them. So that is the reason of 100% requirement, if you are going to fulfill 80% of the requirements of the client. That means, so what is the scope study of the implementation? The scope study of implementation is 80%. Okay, once you can say frankly that 80% of the business process into HR can be implemented without any failure, and we can generate almost all the report and we can show out almost all the output. If you can give an assurance to them, then the people can go for the SLA. Now SLA stands for Service Level Agreement. Service Level Agreement, somebody they will call as Service Line Agreement. So here Service Level Agreement or a Service Line Agreement is nothing but is MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, between Office Software Solutions and the IBM, say for example. Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you say that like MOU? What is that like a
Memorandum of Understanding. It is, yeah, it is an agreement between the two parties. It is an agreement.
Okay.
Okay? Okay, it's an agreement. Once MOU or SLA is done, now the client is Office. Okay? Implementing partner. Implementing partner is assume that IBM. Here, we the consultants, we are going to work through IBM to Office clients. So here, we should have two mail IDs. this is asked in the interview, because if you go for an interview as a fresher, they will ask all the definitions. What is SAP? What is R3? What is system landscape? What is enterprise structure? What is time management? What is payroll? What is personal development? What is benefits? What is garnishments? What is tips? And what is triple 08? What is 14, 15? What is 267? What is off-cycle payroll? What is CAPS? What is ESS, MSS? And what is e-recruitment? They will ask the definitions and the paths and as well as the table names also. If you are a fresher, but if you go for a fresher, I think the market is not good. If you go as a fresher, I think it's highly impossible to get a job right now, till 1 year also. So we have to put 1.5 years or 2 years of an experience, fake experience. So when you put a fake experience, they will ask, first person, who is your client? That means whatever the client which you are going to put in your resume, yeah, SAP, whether SAP HR is there, and if that is it, say assume that our client is ASIC. They will ask the client description. Here what I mean to say, whatever the client you are putting into your resume, then you go, before you go for the interview, you have to get the description, what type of industry it is, what is it manufacturing, what is its total turnover per year, who is its CEO, managing director, and how many employees are there, in how many locations the company is spread, and is it a CNM 5-level company or what type of company it is. We have to know each and everything. You can put a question. But how should I get each and everything here? Because once we are in the SAP, we have to get the data of the client. Or else, as soon as you go for interview, if I am the interview panel board members, I will put a simple question. Okay, Meenal, very good. You did the 3 implementations and you have 2 years of experience and appreciate you. Welcome to our company. So tell me, what did you do in your company? If I put a question, you have to explain each and everything. I don't put a second question. I will put only one question. That is the first and last question. What did you do in your company? Tell me the client description. Tell me in how many locations the company was spread. How many personal areas have we created? How many sub areas have we created? How many employee groups and subgroups and payroll areas and work schedules have we created? This tell one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one.
Okay, you say like you worked in a payroll, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
had payroll for 200 employees.
Okay.
So, you have to create I know you have to create a payroll area.
Yeah.
Working.
Okay.
You have to create employee group, employee subgroup, and personal area, personal sub areas.
Okay. Here, though the PA is customized by somebody, because in particularly in US scenario, no single consultant will do the implementation. But in Indian scenario, a single consultant will do the implementation.
Okay.
Coming to US scenario, there will be a separate consultant for PA, separate consultant for time administration, a separate consultant for payroll. Okay. You said that if you are working on a payroll, then you run payroll because you have to run payroll for different types of employees.
Yeah.
So that is the reason, though you are a payroll consultant, you should know how many employee groups and subgroups are there.
Yeah, I should know, but do I have to create them?
No. Here it is created by the PA consultant.
Create them.
PA consult. But if you can customize, you can customize here. But the thing is here, whatever the PA consultant they have created, in PA they have to create personal areas, sub areas, employee group and subgroups and personal actions like info group and action type and action menu and change action region and action region, they have to create it here. But you should know what did they create. Don't escape that I have customized only payroll, I know only payroll. Because without a person you can't run payroll. Am I right, please?
Yes, right.
So that's the reason. Though you can work in payroll, but you should know how many personal areas are there, how many sub areas are there, how many employee groups and subgroups, because you have to run payroll for each and every employee, right?
Yes.
Okay. So first you have to know the client description. Once you know the client description, type of industry you have to know, and each and everything you have to know, that's it. After that, here, when MO is done, MOU is done, the client people, they wanted to see how many consultants are going to come to the client side to do the implementation. So they want to know the total team structure. The total team structure. Now IBM, what they have to do? They will check how many employees are on the bench. What is meant by bench?
If they don't have a project.
Yeah, they don't have any project and simply they will come and sit on the bench. That's it.
Yeah.
But how many employees are there on the bench? They have to calculate. How many consultants are required to do implementation? Because in MOU or in SLA, everything is specified. A team of SAP consultants containing 37 team size. That means 37 consultants are going to come to office and they do the implementation with a specified period. It can be 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. So based on the size of the company. Okay. A team is going to visit. Now the client people, they have to test even the team. Whether the team which is going to come to office, whether they are well qualified, whether they are well trained, whether they are well experienced or not. Because this is the best product in the world. So they need the best professionals. So whether they are the best professionals or not, so IBM will check whether employees are available or not. Assume that no employee is available, almost all the employees are busy with the implementation. So what do? They have to give an advertisement. They have to give an advertisement saying that recruitment of SAP HR, Finance, ABAP and basis consultants and their requirements are like this. One is at least one full cycle implementation. One full life cycle implementation. Yeah. Just I will tell you. Wait a minute, please. Implementation. Or one end-to-end project. One end-to-end implementation. First one. Second one is knowledge in support. Third one is domain experience is must. Fourth one is good communicative skills. By specifying these 4 skills, they will give you an advertisement. Okay. Now, many aspirants who want to get a job in SAP HR, FIB, WAP and Basis and TP, they will apply for the post. In which few resumes are shortlisted and rest is rejected. Here one thing I want to say. Whatever the requirement which is specified in the papers or the portals, job portals, these 4 skills should be reflected in your resume. If they are not reflected in your resume is not shortlisted. Why? Because the client clearly said, frankly said, my dear IBM management, we need professionals. We need the consultants having some experience in full lifecycle implementation and knowledge in support and domain experience and good skills, because the person